Let's start by taking up the scavenger hunt answers. So, name two things that are new for the current tax year. You might have different things each. You might be talking about changes to universal childcare or other things there. So, I'll leave that as an individual thought. So, the website address, you can access important dates for filing an income tax return. So, that's just the CRA website. That's where you'll get all of your information. What's the phone number that you can call if you have any questions regarding filling out your tax return? So it's 1 800 959 8281. Okay. So, three reasons for filing a tax return that will most likely apply to you. So, you would file a tax return to get a tax refund. So, especially for those of you who are going off to school next year, you'll be able to claim any expenses that you have with school. So, make sure you're saving all of your receipts for any textbooks, materials, tuition, all of that stuff so that you can, excuse me, put that forth in your taxes and get a tax refund. So, another reason would be to get to apply for a GST credit. And then the last thing probably would be to provide information for Elections Canada. So to provide my information for Elections Canada. Okay, and those of you who are close to 18 or already 18 will be able to vote uh, in the next election. Okay, on which date is your return for the current tax year due? So it's always April 30th. There are different dates for if you own your own business. How many years should you keep your supporting document? So the recommendation is 6 years. So you keep things on file. How long does it usually take to process somebody's tax return? So 8 days for if it's electronic. If you don't do it electronically, it could take 4 to 6 weeks. Okay. Who usually pays their taxes by installment? So if you owe over $3,000. And how many sources of income are listed which are not subject to taxes? So state at least three. So you could have a bunch of different things on your list here. So GST credits are not subject to taxes. Child assistance payments. Okay, so if you receive those, those are not subject to taxes. Lottery winnings. And also inheritance. Okay, you might have a few other ones on there as well. Now we're going to take a look at the sample T4 that I gave you, and we're just going to explore the different boxes that are on here. So when you have a job, your employer will give you a T4 statement, and this is what you'll use when you are filing your taxes. If somebody else does file your taxes for you, so you use a company or somebody to do that, or even maybe your parents will do it for you, or your parent's accountant will do it for you, you would need to take this T4 and give that to them so that they can take a look at all of the information for filing your taxes. So let's just explore some of the things that are on here. And we're going to go ahead and fill out our empty chart that you have in your duotang at the same time. But I want you referencing this T4 slip, finding the box so that you can find those pieces of information, okay? So I'm just going to move down to our lesson note here. So we're going to identify 3 items of information in unnumbered boxes. So going back up to that T4 slip, the boxes on here that are not numbered are this one here, this one here, and this one here. Okay, and those 3 boxes, one of them was for the employer's name. Okay, and then the other one was the employee's name. That would be your name and the year. Okay, so those are the 3 that don't have a box associated with them. So let's go up to that sample T4, and I want you to find box number 10. So you can pause the video so that you can find it. So box number 10 is right under where it says province of employment. Okay, so for us, we would write Ontario, of course. Let's take a look at number 12. So number 12 box on your T4 is your social insurance number. Okay, and that's unique to every person. Number 14 is your employment income. So where it says the spot, sorry, I'm just going to grab the highlighter here, the spot where it says line number, okay? Um, That's going to change from year to year, so it's not always going to be the same, but on your T4, it will tell you what line you would fill that information out on, okay? So in this case, for province, we don't have a line. For SIN number, we would just fill it out on page 1, but for employment income on our T4, we can see that it's line 101, okay? So next we have number 16. So that's our employee CPP contribution. So that's our Canada Pension Plan. Okay, and that would be line 308. Number 17, it would be our employee QPP contributions. And that would be line 308 as well. And you would only have those contributions instead of your CPP contributions if you lived in Quebec. Okay, box 18 is for line 312, and that's your EI contributions, so your employment insurance contributions. Oops. Okay, so line 20, we're looking, or sorry, box 20, we're looking at line 207, and that's our RPP contributions. And that's your pension plan contributions. Then taking a look at box 22, which is line 437, we have income tax deducted. Box 24 is our insurable earnings. 26 is pensionable earnings. 28 is any CPP or QPP exemptions. 29 is an employment code. 44, which is line 212, is union dues. 46 is charitable donations. 50 is RPP registration number. 52 is a pension adjustment, line 206. Okay. And 54 is a business number. So a lot of these things might not apply to you with your job, and it's important to note that you're not the one that is putting in any of this information. Your T4 gets given to you by your employer. Okay, so again, these are union dues that would have been taken off as part of your paychecks, right? These are charitable donations through that employer. So when I file my taxes, I have other charitable donations that I would have to on my T4 slip. Okay. So you don't need, if you're not sure, how to calculate anything or, where these come from, you don't have to do anything with this T4 slip except to be able to read the information and double check that it's correct and it makes sense to you. And they relate back to what you should be seeing on your pay stub. Okay, so there are some specialized boxes along the bottom, and the purpose of those are just for, sorry, there are some empty boxes along the bottom, and that is for specialized items that don't apply for most people. But sometimes certain people would need to use those um, for special things. Okay, so for example, commission income would go in box 42. And so that would be one that you could add to a T4 slip. Okay, so hopefully this gives you an idea of what is supposed to be on there. And for those of you that are working, when you get your T4 slip in 2021, you'll be able to see all of these things, right? And see what you contribute to through your employer, and hopefully it makes a little bit more sense to you.